Good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 on a Sunday morning. We're going to carry on with this series that is not a speed run. We're rated 802, and we have the black pieces against the 7-5-6. And I'm going with what I normally play here. So the two main moves are really probably d5 and knight f6, both quite flexible. If I go knight c6 now, we could transpose into a black knight's tango. I could just play d5. d5 is very normal. This is not playable because that's attacked twice. Let's pull the knight out. If he kicks me, I might have an issue though. Do I go forwards? Do I just retreat? Let's find out. I think the central pawn move would have been correct actually. But then it is 7:35 in the morning. Opponent's name is Brave P11. Okay, 111. So this is a black knight's tango now. Normally you would expect c4 on move 2, then followed by a knight move. This is the weaker move for white, just so you know. Okay, I'm going to play e6. Anticipating this knight coming out, I could still find this move, actually. Could still get myself kicked. But now I have e7, and then g6 of the knight. That's the whole point in this. Okay, out comes the knight. We pin the knight with the bishop. And we just basically wait for white to get annoyed with the bishop and push a3 using a tempo, at which point we just trade off and crack on with our own business up the other end. But you don't trade off until prompted to do so, because you really want white to waste that turn by pushing the pawn. And also slightly weakening his position, maybe. Maybe. So now, look, there we go, and we trade. So white's got nothing to show for his last two moves, right? If you look here, this is where white was. This is where white is now. He had two pieces out on the board. Now he only has one, whereas I have good central control. I'm also ready to castle. Let's do that. And now we can think about what to do with our remaining stuff. This knight will usually find its way over to g6. And I would argue that white's pawn structure here, I mean, it potentially has good control here over the middle. Right, two attackers, two defenders. Now, what do? Do I move my knight? I would think I'm going to move my knight. And I'll tell you for why. Right, if I take here, he simply undoubles his pawns, and he's got a pawn right on d5, right in my face, annoying my knight again. So takey. I can't take the knight because I simply lose the knight to the queen, right? So takes, I have to move anyway. And he's undoubled his pawns. If I do this though, and then he takes, I take back towards the center with the f pawn, also opening up my rook. You see? My rook's then pointing at the knight on f3. Now I might also then, because if this pawn's not there anymore, if it's gone here, might also then think about fianchettoing my queen's bishop onto this same long diagonal, also targeting the knight. Just layering up possibilities. Look at the state of my hands. I've been up, chopped some cherry wood for the missus, because she's teaching a barbecue course today. Fingers crossed for the wither. Okay. I spy, with my little eye, something beginning with F. This pawn here, you see, is undefended. This bishop is defended by the knight. This is a reasonable bishop. And it's annoying. Now I could just kick it. But if I kick it, he takes. And like, what, am I going to recapture with the g-pawn, having moved my h-pawn there? I don't like that at all, one bit precious. Okay, now this is another idea. This is a discovered defense of the knight by the queen. Okay, that's another right. That's certainly something to consider. Yet another idea is knight e4. We hit the bishop, and we hit this pawn on c3. So what's he going to do? I come here. Can he defend both? Well, not really. So I'm going to play this move. It does pin this knight, though, by the way. There we go. By the way, I've also uninstalled or switched off my Prettier Lichess plugin. It doesn't affect us here because we're on chess.com, but there's just a couple of things that were annoying me about it. I like the ability to tweak the colours, but you've got reasonable themes on Lichess anyway. But there were just a couple of things, and it was changing the sizes of stuff. So when I was hovering over like the chapters in my studies, they'd get bigger and jumble about a bit. And also, it affected the tabbing through on certain pop-ups. This also opens up the idea of f6, pushing the bishop back. f6 and even e5, really kind of trying to make the case that these pawns here are somewhat out in the open. Okay, well, all of that is inconsequential. I could have actually taken there, but then I lose my queen, yeah? So no in-between move then. There. And look, I mean, I would argue I'm better. I'm castled. I've got a centralized knight, and my queen's out. What's white got? He's not castled. He's got a reasonable knight, and he's got fugly pawns. They're kind of fugly. Now, again, if he takes here, I'm going to recapture the f pawn, opening up this rook. Otherwise, what is my default plan? Always have a default plan. Okay. Queen defends the pawn and also simultaneously attacks the knight. Now, I could retreat the knight. I could come back here, for example. That is not a bad square. I'm controlling some stuff. Am I concerned about this knight coming in to support the queen in a checkmate thing? Well, no, not really, because of that. I could do this. That temporarily defends the knight. Now, I do this, though. He does this. That means this pawn's gone, this pawn's gone. He still has a pawn here, but then I retreat the knight, and I'm looking at this pawn, yes? And I've opened up. So he can't take... Oh, actually, queen also defends there. Look at that. That was a little slip in visualization from Hunty. Okay, so he takes with the pawn now. My queen defends knight. I might even push this or push this. Thinking about... Yeah, there you go. See? Queen now defends knight. Yes, he's repaired his pawns to some degree, but he's not going to win the game with pawns. So the big question for me now is, which direction does this bishop want to go? And that is an important question and not one to be rushed. I had a great lesson, by the way, yesterday with Jason. New student, Austin, Texas. Fantastic game as well. I think when I put it into my analysis engine, we played 1750 level. Very instructive game. Okay, there's no reason to move the knight. I'm thinking one of these pawns makes sense. So, bishop on here. We attack this pawn. That is a good thing. Can it be easily defended? Well, yes. Bishop here, though, where's this king going to go? Well, it ain't going that way. So for that reason alone, it seems to make sense that this bishop should go to this opposite side of the board, to the side where I'm anticipating my opponent's king going. Now, there's nothing wrong with the move d6 anyway. It kind of halts any advance of this pawn as well. So I could play all three of these moves on my next 3 turns. That doesn't make sense. It drops the knight. Puts 2 attackers on here, though. I just feel like d6 is a good move. Right, look at this bishop. Okay, now he wants to get his bishop out. And he's going to want to come here with double pressure on the knight. But when my knight comes back here as well, my knight guards that. I could do this, but then here comes the bishop there, and I actually lose my bishop because he's got double eyes. I could also play this and threaten to make a proper mess of his pawns. I'm happy that my knight can come back here and defend h7, because otherwise that would be a serious barrage. Also, if his bishop comes out here, I can just take the knight, and the bishop then defends the knight. But after I take the knight, pawn takes, and then I have to move back anyway, but I still defend h7, so happy, happy days. And see how nothing special, spectacular, fireworky has been done whatsoever in this game. Just trying to make solid moves and waiting for opportunities to appear, which is what we were saying in a lesson yesterday with Jason. Improve your pieces. You know, his main issue was middle game. What do I do in the middle game? I flounder in the middle game, and this is very common. Interesting. I really expected the bishop to come here. f5 is actually a thought. Centralizing my rooks is also a thought. I might want to keep this one on f8. Or do I improve my queen? Queenie's not that active right now. She could just come to f6, pressurizing this pawn here. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Okay. It's out of reach of the knight. I know that. This is not... The knight can do nothing. Nothing with this. It would take the knight 2 moves to attack the queen. Okay. Let's say the knight does come here. I take it. Knight comes here. I take it. Pins this pawn. This pawn cannot move forward because I take the rook. But number one thing is I've got now double... Good cross-eyed there. Oh, but I have hung my knight. Queen takes, though. I take with a fork and king and rook. That was lucky. I actually missed that. Queen takes here. I have this. Check. King moves. I get rook. Queen gets bishop, though. And that's actually equal material. Okay. Now, I don't think that was a bad move from my opponent. Now I can take the pawn, though, isn't it? Now I can take the pawn, but not with the queen. If I take it with the queen, I just lose the knight. And now he's connected his rooks, you see. But this, I think, is a freebie. This is a freebie. And I'm also attacking this pawn now on d5. You can just see how the simple fact of messing up his pawns earlier on in the game with the bishop pin, right? The pawns could have been used in an aggressive way if he pushed them forward and used them to beat down my pawn defences here. Can be useful. And he did capture towards the centre with the pawn, but as it happened, it left those pawns actually as a kind of a soft target for later on, as we've just seen. Right, so I'm attacking his bishop. I'm attacking this. Okay, he could play bishop here. But then I take the knight and he has to take back with the g2 pawn. This is not nice. I'm just threatening this. Also defends c7, bizarrely. So he's got a job. He's got a problem to resolve now. Now my first thought is I could take the bishop with check. But I take the bishop with check, queen takes, and he's defended there. But then I could take anyway. Let's do it. Let's go into an ending, right? And try and prove that my sensible conservative pawn structure is superior to my opponent's, okay? So this with check, Queen will recapture. I can take the knight now, yes. And if queen takes, we trade queens. So he's got a 5 and a 1. I have a 3 and a 4. So I'm going to be up 1 pawn, okay? So we haven't done many endings. But now it's not a 5 and a 1. It's a 1, a doubled 4 and a 1. Okay. So I'm only up 1 pawn, but my job now is to prove that this is a better ending to go into. Now my pawns are very far back, has to be said. But these isolated pawns are targets. Now what's the key thing about an isolated pawn? Well, look at it. This pawn, and actually this pawn and this pawn, as things stand, cannot be defended by any other pawn. These two are defended by pawns. Okay, so far so good. But what it means is that this one needs to be defended by a piece. So do these, and so does this guy. And my opponent only has 3 pieces. So he's going to be running around spinning plates, hopefully. Do I attack here? See, my job now is to embarrass his, or to overstretch his stuff. We've all got 3 pieces. We've all got a king and 2 rooks. Now this. No, he just takes, doesn't he? Okay, so first thing, probably centralising the king then. Might come after this pawn here. How does he defend it with a rook? Well, it actually takes him 2 turns to get a rook to the 3rd, or push pawn and stuff like that. Is he? He's not thinking of that. Okay, I'm going to move my king. We have an increment here, so this is very important to remember. There is an increment, which means that whoever gets into the best position ought to have the advantage. Don't think we've had any end games so far. Okay, I'm going to put my rook across. But you see, now I can put this pawn here and this pawn here in 2 turns. And look, right? Rook defends this one. Okay? I'm going to put this pawn here first, and then this pawn here. Now this pawn is just going to be a target forever, because it can't be defended by a pawn. Whereas all of my rook defends that, and then everything else is defended. You see, so I can fit and forget. Look, defended, 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 not defended. Defended, not defended. You see? Oh, still not defended. Now, what do? I go here. If he takes, I could trade off rooks. I'm not sure about that. H5 is a thought. King f6. Push. Take, take, take. Pawn to f6. I'm just going to make a pawn push. I'm just going to bide my time. Endgames is not my strength, has to be said. Okay, again this is undefended. But these side-by-side pawns are preventing the progress of my king. Now, there. If he takes, here takes, here, I'm just doing this to defend this pawn with this. So now I've got ideas, I've kind of freed up my c8 rook, you see. Excuse me. Right. Now, if he takes here, I can't recapture because I hang my rook. So I'm going to take with the pawn. Now, there, or there. Here he takes the check I have to recapture. I don't know, should be alright. Still, loose pawns. He's only got one pawn that's actually defended, and that one's trying to get itself captured. If he pushes this pawn, that's kind of okay, because I can push that and then my king comes round. He does this. I come here. If he does that, I take. There. He takes. I have check. And my rook has an open file. There, if rooked, same deal. Now he has 4 pawns. None of them supportable by another pawn. If he takes here, I think I just throw in the check. King can't go there because rook takes. So king is then forced over this away. That's good for me. I want to keep his king away from the centre of the board. This rook still defends okay. But this is kind of the same deal. I take, pawn takes, check. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. I could come here, threaten this pawn. If he pushes it, it's mine because I'm attacking it twice. I could come here and threaten this pawn. Am I worried about this? I think we come here and threaten this one. The king can't get there in time. The rook could support it. That's one idea. I am a pawn up, and my pawn up is really this guy, in a way. If you think about it, this side of the board it's 2-2. This side of the board it's 3-2. Just got to be a bit careful about that guy there. Maybe rook d7. This attacks that pawn. This pawn's actually pinned, right? So if g5, he can't push because he gets took. He can't take. Legally can't take because he's pinned. So what's he going to do? I'm attacking it twice. He's got that again. At which point oh, hello. Threatens that, but I actually have that covered. I could push by. I could just simply take this. Calmly take that pawn. It is a free pawn. Here, the push, that's unpleasant. I need to keep this rook here. If he pushes, I can take. I'm 2 pawns up now. I feel like this king wants to get up now. Maybe should still block this pawn. It's always a nervous moment, you know, when you've got an opponent's pawn, also with rooks behind it. It's not right behind it, is it, though? Probably should be. I take He has to take back. My king comes here. Surely it has to be good. He can't go there because I just take him, right? He's got to win his rook back. I go here. He's going to come here. I stick my king there. His king will advance and win this pawn back. But then it's going to come down to this 3-on-1 on this side. He's got to play this. I think I might actually just do this anyway, right? I take, if he trades off, it's just winning for black because I can power through on this side against this solo pawn. His king can have this pawn, but that's almost like a waste of 3 tempi. Okay. I think that just loses now because of this. Right? My pawn covers b6. This is the square of this pawn. If you think about the square going to the promotion, okay, like this. His king cannot enter the square. If his king cannot enter the square, then his king cannot stop the pawn. And this is just dead loss now. Does he realise it's lost? Yeah, okay, there we go. Good Spiel, mein Freund. Let's have a quick look at the game review, see how we did. Accuracy. Did we do well? 81. We did well. 2 misses though. Okay. So at no point were we particularly worse. There's a brilliant move. Queen f6. It liked very much indeed. Okay, that's nice. But let's just review the game a bit, right? And the key thing, this, great move, but notice how this pawn turned out to be the Achilles heel for white, right? Not fantastic, best move, good, best move again. Okay, and now we are a bit better. That's okay, could have done. Huh. Okay. And that's not brilliant. Ooh, ooh. That would have been good. Yeah, didn't spot that. Okay, best move. Okay, it liked this. You see, so all series of best moves there, right now. So it looks like I've been inaccurate in the ending, which is not a bad thing, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing what I could have improved on there. It's -1 now for black, which we're 1 pawn up. Okay, so now we find ourselves in the ending. Best moves here. This is important for me. Okay, centralizing the king. I went a different way. See? Computer says keep centralizing the darn king. But I wanted to show this pawn structure and show off the fact that I could defend it all with 1 piece. Defending 4 pawns with 1 piece, opponent can't do that. Oh, and that was a miss. Interesting. Okay, and that wasn't great. Yeah, I guess. And if pushes take. Yep. Another miss. There was only one good move and I didn't find it. Again, it wants me to do this and attack this pawn. Okay. And this is just pretty much secured. So it's rating me at 1150, but 81.4. Now, I reckon if I pasted that middle game, I played really accurately, 90%. Happy with that. Jason, take note. But yeah, this is now just completely winning. We traded off this after he moved his rook. Yeah, perfect. And that's a mistake for my opponent because he's now just dead lost. Dead lost. Dead in the water lost, okay? This is simply 2 pawns on 1, 2 connected pawns on 1. Nothing to worry about. And that's it, okay? So, interesting. And I think that's a really good example of just how to win at chess, right? Nothing spectacular. No smart tactics. I took advantage of a minor weakness on my opponent's side and saw it through. Even without the most accurate play, I was able to magnify that small advantage into something that in the end turned out to be just completely overwhelming and winning. So, you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, it's 0-1, black won. You know, and that's my job. So, job done. Hope that's useful for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Do sign up for one or more chess lessons if you would like to learn this, improve any part of your game. Be really happy to help. Or think about joining Chess Bootcamp Live if you want to train live with some other players around the world. Other than that, thank you for watching. See you later.